sister network, Fox Business Network. And Henry Paulson, Treasury Secretary, will speak at some point within the next half an hour is our best guess. They don't tell us exactly how long these senators are going to go on their opening statements, but we'll have that for you as well here. In the meantime, Joe Biden has given an interview to CBS News that his running mate may wish he hadn't. Biden calling one of the Obama campaign's advertisements attacking John McCain, quote, terrible, saying he would not have run it. Within hours, Obama's campaign spokesman released a statement in which Biden backtracks, saying he's never actually seen the ad. As you likely know, this is not Senator Biden's first gaffe. Here for you now, a few examples.
One man stands ready to deliver change we desperately need. A man I'm proud to call my friend. A man who will be the next president of the United States, Barack America.
She's a truly close personal friend. She is qualified to be President of the United States of America. She's easily qualified to be Vice President of the United States of America. And quite frankly, it might have been a better pick than me.
Stand up, Chuck. Let him see you. Oh, God love you. What am I talking about? I tell you what, you're making everybody else stand up, though, pal.
Oh, that last one hurt. He was telling a wheelchair-bound state senator to stand up and be recognized, only to realize that the poor guy was in a wheelchair. And your heart goes out to Joe Biden for that one, which, you know, who can't relate to putting their foot in their mouths? But this latest one on the Obama campaign ad has a lot of tongues wagging. Joining us now to discuss it is former Lieutenant Governor of Maryland, Fox News contributor Michael Steele. Hi, Michael.
Hey, how are you, Megan?
I'm doing well, thanks. All right, so let's just talk. We're going to get to the Biden gaffes in a second, but I want to ask about this most recent one, because for him to come out and rip on his own campaign's ad, saying, I thought that was terrible. He says, and he throws it in. He says, I thought that was terrible, by the way. I didn't know we did it, and if I'd had anything to do with it, we would never have done it. Shortly thereafter, the campaign spokespeople get a hold of him and send out a news statement saying, wait, I never even saw the ad, and I, basically stand behind Barack Obama. So how bad a gaffe is that?
Well, it's not earth-shattering, but it's typical, and there's going to be more to come. We have a vice presidential debate coming up in a few weeks, and I'm sure there'll be some priceless moments there. This is the risk with picking a Biden who's very comfortable in his own skin, and he gets very comfortable in settings, and he speaks truth to the room, and he reflects back what he's thinking and feeling, and he felt that ad was bad, it was improper, because he has a personal relationship with Senator McCain. He's worked with this man for a long time. He knows what kind of individual he is. He probably has some understanding and appreciation of the degree of his, handicap with respect to his mobility in certain situations.
Yeah, and just so our viewers know, the ad he was talking about was the Obama campaign ad where they called McCain out of touch and talked about how he can't even use a computer. And then there was pushback saying he can't use a computer because of his injuries as a POW. So in any event, Joe Biden did a 180 and sort of reversed himself on what he said to CBS. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and the campaign is trying to do that political backstroke, say, oh, well, he didn't see the ad. Well, whether or not he saw the ad is irrelevant. He knew enough to speak to the ad and the content of the ad, and that, I think, is what stings more than anything else.
Isn't the point really that he didn't know enough not to keep his mouth shut if he really thought it was terrible? I mean, it's unusual to see a running mate come out and rip on the person who's on the top on his advertisement. Has Joe Biden helped or hurt Obama more in this campaign?
I think he's hurt him to the point where he's almost neutral. I mean, you have not seen or heard a lot from him certainly since Sarah Palin's selection, and the little bit that you have seen or heard from him has been reflected in these types of gaffes. And so I suspect that the campaign is sitting there going, what have we done? But they know they can't keep the guy under wraps because of the high profile of the vice presidential nominee on the Republican side, and yet they run this risk of having him come out and say statements like this that puts them in a box.
But let me be a contrarian for a minute, because I see things like that happen to Joe Biden, especially that last remark, and I think, oh, the poor guy. It really almost makes you empathize with him. And who among us hasn't said something stupid that we wish we could take back? Might it actually be helping him in some way?
No, Megan, I appreciate the stretch there, but this is a member of the United States Senate for 36 years. He is a very accomplished politician. He's a very accomplished public speaker. Yes, he is prone to the gaffes. We know that it's legendary in Washington. So, that's you don't have that kind of sympathy as you would with someone who was fairly new to the scene or has some other type of situation, special circumstances, they may say. But that's not Joe Biden. Joe Biden is himself. He is very comfortable with who he is, and he speaks his mind. And that's something the campaign is going to have to be very careful about over the next remaining weeks.
Yeah, well, it'll make the vice presidential debate even more interesting.
Oh,
Michael
I've got my popcorn and I can't wait.
You always got your popcorn.
I do.
Thanks so much.
Fun.
See you, Michael.
All right, we're watching now John McCain in Strongsville, Ohio. He's going to make a statement on the economy. We're going to dip into that in a moment here. In the meantime, though, Hank Paulson has still not delivered his testimony in front of that Senate committee. Why? Well, because the senators are doing all the talking to date. And they're still talking. When Hank Paulson begins, you will see it live, too. Back in a moment here. Let's get a quick break in America's Newsroom.
And you and I have discussed this.
Protect against the spiraling cost of motoring with Direct Line car insurance. When you buy a new policy, we promise not to increase your price next year. Remember, you won't find this exclusive offer on any price comparison websites. So for no price increase next year and 10% off when insuring a second car, come direct to directline.com or call 0845 301 2851 now.
I'm in debt. I got here by borrowing a little. Then I started to get out of my depth. My monthly payments just went up and up.
You haven't spoken to Debt Matters then. Debt Matters are a professional company who can reduce your overall debts using an IVA.
What's an IVA?
An IVA is an agreement between you and your creditors, which freezes interest and charges.
Phillips of the world. What Governor Palin did a year ago did upset many people in her own party. She lorded over the biggest tax increase in state history on those oil companies. Revenue went from $5 billion to $10 billion. For example, BP had a $1 billion tax increase in the first 6 months of this year. So many people of her own party said that what this is going to do is drive down investment and send people to other parts of the country or perhaps to foreign oil for their investments.
How has this influenced the campaign, Dan?
Well, it's interesting because the left really can't attack Palin as being in bed with the oil companies. She has taken them on in her own state. However, she has really taken on her own running mate because John McCain opposed a windfall profits tax this past July on the oil companies. Of course, Palin signed one into law here in Alaska.
All right, interesting to note there. Dan Springer, thank you. Live in Anchorage, Alaska. Keep that Bureau of the Heat on, okay? See you, Dan.
Hey,
Megan?
get this. One of our viewers just wrote in about the Biden gaffes segment, and she says, I'm a conservative and a supporter of McCain-Palin. What you guys call a gaffe by Joe Biden, I call a testament to the dignity of the man himself. Would like more honesty like that on both sides. That's from Sunny in Boca Raton, Florida. Is it Boca Raton or Boca Raton?
You can be whatever you want.
Sunny, let us know.